Hi everybody. If you remember the art haul video I did the other day, this was one of the items that came in. The Lyra, I also have heard people pronounce it Lyra, but the Lyra polycolor Rembrandt pencils. I was talking to someone that used to work for the company, and they said that it's not that Rembrandt brand and Lyra brand are the same company. They're two. This is just Lyra's Rembrandt line of polycolor pencils. So these are the oil pencils that I was so excited to get. And since I'm a little tired this afternoon, I thought it'd be fun to play with the color set first. Because if you remember, I got the deep black pocket set. And these are like the sanguine and sepia white and umber, I think. And this is the grayscale set. So I thought it'd be fun to do something whimsical, really whimsical and fun and loose. And I'm going to play with the color pencils and the color oil pencils. That's the exciting part about it to me, is the oil pencils. So I don't know what I'm going to draw yet. I need to look around for something. But as you know, I like to start these things with a little bit of a quote, some sort of a quote. So let's see what I've got for you today. Something to inspire. I read this morning and it inspired me. I'm reading this from Creative Authenticity, 16 Principles to Clarify and Deepen Your Artistic Vision by Ian Roberts. I love this book. I can't recommend it enough. It took me forever to read it just because it was so juicy. I just kept stopping at parts and reading them over and over again. So, but this is just like the open page, a couple of quotes from other people whose books I actually also have. This is a quote from David Bales and Ted Orland from Art and Fear, if you've read that book, which is another favorite of mine. But here we go. The difficulties art makers face are not remote and heroic, but universal and familiar. David Bales and Ted Orland they wrote Art and Fear. The second quote is, an artist learns by repeated trial and error, by an almost moral instinct to avoid the merely or confusingly decorative, to eschew violence where it is a fraudulent substitute for power, to say what he has to say with the most direct and economical means, to be true to his objects, to his materials, to his technique, and hence, by a correlated miracle, to himself. And that quote was by Erwin Edmund, Arts and the Man. That book I haven't read, Arts and the Man. Okay, so that is actually something really good to mull over, and that goes so well with what my intention is for this little drawing that I'm going to do. I want to try to stay super loose and whimsical with it, which is something that I find a little challenging. It's actually an art style I used to do a lot of, and then I tightened up, and once I tightened up, I had a really hard time. It's almost like the more I studied art, the more I studied the correct way to do art, which I think is important. I think it's important to know the fundamentals of art, even if you do loose styles, because I think it helps you in the end. I think it makes the creative journey less confusing for you. But I find it really hard to go back to the whimsical, and I know there are so many other artists out there that feel the same way. It's like once you go down that rabbit hole, it's really hard to bring yourself back to that sort of joyful, childlike, whimsical, creative process. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video. I'm going to look for something to sketch or get an idea in my head, and then I will come back and I will start and play with my new toys. I'm so excited. These look really fun. Okay, be back. So that was a lot of fun. These pencils are amazing. They are really soft. You can see from where the tips were when they were new, like the white I barely used, it's up to the top. They're really soft. This one drawing wore them down quite a bit. But gosh, the application, they're just really wonderful to work with. I think it's harder to color with, you know, like colored pencils and things like that than it is to paint, because there were so many things that I would have been looser with if I could just dab with a brush of paint, you know. I would have just slapped the flowers in, and the chair would have just been a few brush strokes. But the drawing by nature felt much more fussy and even a bit laborious. I was getting kind of tired towards the end. So I'd almost like to try this whole image again in acrylics or oils. Actually, that might be fun to do, just to see the difference of how it came out. I could see how for some people coloring would be really meditative, because coloring is even different than drawing. I enjoy drawing, but this I found to be such a different experience. I mean, I don't think I've actually colored a whole picture with crayons or colored pencils since I was a kid. So it was interesting. It was fun, and I adore the pencils. They're just wonderful. And I think for mixed media, I'm really going to enjoy working with them. I think for this particular image, I think I might have liked it better, and it probably would have come out looser if I had painted it. So anyways, there it is. And I could have gotten so much more solid color with these if I had laid them on more carefully. I wasn't really interested in doing that, but in the few areas that I experimented with it, the pigment would go really dark if you laid it on heavier and with more layers. So that was a fun experiment, though. There they are. I bet you somebody who really works with colored pencil and has experience with colored pencil could do amazing things with these pencils. Cool. Okay, there it is. I'm done. It's the end of the day. I need to go make some supper for my hubby. But thanks for hanging with me while I did this journal spread. And that makes me 2 pages closer to finishing another journal. I taped the pages so that I could, it did curl the moleskin pages, the colored pencil, the oil in them. But I'm not much closer to finishing this journal, and I finished one yesterday, the day before. So goals, people, goals. We'll see. I may get through all these journals quicker than I thought. Okay, take care. Hope you enjoyed watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.